Welcome to the grand finale where we're going to sell all our products for a massive sale, do a double-sized grass harvest, pay off all our loans, make sure we leave our fields in top condition, do a farmyard makeover, and even look at some before and after pictures of the farm. Right now. Let's start with the canola fields and deal with the weeds. We're going to get right into work today, and you've probably felt the intensity in the series rising in these last few episodes as we make this surge into the finale. We'll get the Deutz-Fahr completely serviced so it's at its best and get hooked up with our new hoe. It's only the second time we've used it. I highly recommend this implement, decent working with, 15 miles per hour. This will make pretty quick work of the weeds, so let's get it knocked out. We're coming down the final stretch, and I'll tell you, the feeling you get using it is very satisfying. You're not just killing the weeds in place, you're completely ripping them out of the ground. Okay, next is a little front loader work with the John Deere. There's a couple things we need to do, but the first is to get a little more tree pushed into the sawmills. We're going to let them keep churning out planks and do a final sale right at the end. Next, we'll move some goat milk pallets so there's room for more to spawn. The niche is absolutely perfect for storage. We can easily get 16 pallets in there. Alright, time to move into October, which will be quite a bit busier than just hoeing and a little bit of loader work we did in September. It's a beautiful October morning, and the sun is streaming through the morning fog. A great way to start our biggest grass harvest in the neighborhood of 30 acres. We'll be using a lot of worker help and stepping through this pretty quickly. Not only did we get everything cut and baled, but we started clearing the bales off the field, we'll get our equipment stored back in the grass shed, and I get to give a thumbs up to the shed as well. Inexpensive, multiple wide bays, great height clearance. I highly recommend. There's quite a few more bales to contend with, so I think we'll get our bales lined up and make the longest row of silage you've seen so far in the series. The one we have now looks great, but this next one should be quite a bit more. I think what I'll also do is start going on the grass work with the hired hand. If I can get the headland of this field squared away myself, the worker will do a fairly good job of finishing the rest. So let's get them started and finish the bale clearing. The bales are all ready. Let's give the worker a hand on the rolling. I get how these smaller fields are a little tough for somebody who graduated from AI school. So I'll finish these small ones myself, then move over to the big ones, get those started, then turn it back over to the workers. Okay, the rolling is in good hands for a while. Let's fire up the 3650 and start the wrapping. This is gonna be wild. Yeah, that's ridiculously long. We were almost starting to run out of space on the field. I'm glad we did it though. There's still some new things like that that's popping up on the farm, even this far into the series. There was still this one area down here where I didn't set the worker quite right for the field, so I'll tidy that up. And it's probably the last we'll see of the roller, baler, and mowers in use on the farm. We're in the final stretch, folks. All right, the roller is put away, and I was contemplating if we should go ahead and sell the silage roll we already had. But the price isn't that great, so we'll just hang on to it and do a massive silage sale all at once, right near the end. The only thing I think is left for October is the goat watering. This time, for nostalgia, we'll go down to the main river and fill the tanker. You might remember from the beginning of the series, this was our filling spot, down by the banks of the cattails, behind the shrubs. Very picturesque, but always risky to drive down here. Our good animals can have a nice drink, and after a little fueling and a little repairing, we can just keep chunking forward into the next month. Here in winter, we've only got 1 or 2 things to take care of each month before January, where there'll be a blitz of final selling, followed by a Farmyard Makeover. Okay, it's November, we'll check the prices. And yes, canola oil is very good. It seems to still be going up, but it's definitely oil selling month. So we'll get over there with the trailer and a couple tractors and start loading. Okay, we got it loaded easy enough, but then we waited. We waited for the price to go up, and it did. But it's now in the twilight hour of the day, so it's time to get out of here and go make our sale. These last couple pallets that spawned might as well make the journey too. That's probably $4,000 right there. We really are pulling in here in the late dusk, aren't we? And the rain isn't helping see either. Almost $85,000 in canola oil. And that's the kind of sales we're going to start seeing from the oil mill now that we have a full supply of canola, and it's only going to get better. That was the only real task for November. So, ready or not, we're rolling into December, where the bread will be the highlight product up for sale, and maybe a couple light chores. It's a bright and crisp December morning as we head out with the auto stacker to get the straw. I almost forgot we had these bales sitting right here for sale, so we'll snag these and get them to the market before we forget. Almost $13,000. Easy sale money. With that, we can go over to the bakery and start loading up our fresh baked bread, which may or may not have been sitting outside the last couple months. There, 12 pallets. And like the canola oil, we'll just wait a tiny bit for the price to increase. While a little time passes, we'll get some more oats into the grain mills and the canola into the oil mill. Now that we have all this crop, might as well top off the productions. Okay, we got one more bread pallet, a welcome addition, and we can get over to the small farmer's kiosk. Almost 60,000. That's excellent. I'm really glad we leaned into getting a couple more big fields, growing the oats, and running that through our cadre of grain mills to get the whole bread production thing going. It was a nice swing. That also puts us in a very nice position to achieve one of our goals for the series: pay off all our loans. We haven't taken out any loans in a very long time, but at the beginning, We had to borrow a little money to get the farm off the ground, and we've been carrying that early loan since the start. And now, the $160,000 debt is paid off. That is a great way to close out December and bring on January, where, despite the selling we've been doing, we're going to have a volcano of money coming in and a very nice little farmyard makeover. All right, we had to interrupt our sleep to scurry down to the sheep barn and make room for more pallets. We can move the rest of the way into January morning, and what I just realized, with all the excitement of the finale, is that I let the goat pastures run dry of water. Our poor goats. But we will use this error to complete another goal of the series, and that is to own all the equipment we commonly use on the farm. This tanker definitely falls into that category, so what I'll do is take it over to the store myself, turn it in, and buy another one just about like it. We've had this thing rented so long, I bet they don't even have the paperwork on file anymore. It's been something like 10 years. Okay, that's returned. Now we can buy our own. And I think we'll add a little snazz to what we're buying. I think a set of chrome wheels are exactly what the farm needs. There, we'll get that back to the farm, and I think, for old time's sake, we'll dip it into the old creek bed for the last filling. All right, everything is good to go, and that also satisfies our major goal for owning our own equipment. I can't think of anything else we use on a regular basis. With the goat water squared away, albeit a bit late, we'll get to the first sale of January, and that's the mushrooms, along with a variety of other miscellaneous products, most of which have spawned just within the last month or so. Okay, we have enoki and oyster mushrooms, some honey, 4 pallets of bottled goat milk, 8 pallets of canola oil, if you can believe that, and even 2 more pallets of bread. We have so many different products, they're not even all registering on the trailer count. I figured it was good, though, to do one last sweep of those productions and clean out all the stray product. Over 47,000 for what felt like some leftover bits. It's a testament to the farm's productivity. We have 3 more big sales to go, though, and next on the agenda is the lumber. We'll clean out both our sawmills and take everything in one load to one location. Nice and simple. Alright, that is actually a fair bit of milled wood, and it's a little top heavy, so
we must be cautious.
$53,000 in lumber and almost $155,000 in the account. Next on the sales agenda is the goat milk. I believe we've missed out on some production when the pastures ran out of water, but this should still be a nice sum. No one's going to look at that trailer and say we've dramatically underproduced. The price is not at its absolute best and is still going up, but we'll sell them anyway. I'd rather it not get too late in the day when we do our little project makeover. $89,000, very good. And that leaves just one more product to sell. The massive amount of silage. The big log is almost done fermenting, so we can start with the smaller one and take them to the biogas plant for the best price. I'm expecting somewhere around $100,000 for everything. Let's find out. Okay, that's very close to $120,000, more than I expected, for a grand farm total over $363,000. Now it's time to spend a majority of that on our farmyard project. First is a barn. We're getting one big enough to hold a few pieces of equipment, and it's nice to have a storage facility that captures that barn vibe over a regular shed. Next, we've earned a farmhouse, and we'll get a nice big one, but still in that old style feel. We'll plop that in the opposite corner of the grass field, and now, the thing that'll set the whole thing off, some fencing and a couple gates. After a bit of fidgeting in the construction menu, there you have it. An elegant yet simple black fence with a couple big trees for the right look of an established farmhouse yard. Let's take a look around. We could drive completely through the center of the barn out into our expansive backyard. We even left a little walking passage by the fence. Let's put a couple pieces of equipment in there and put it to use. Very nice. Just because we can, we'll utilize the double gate on the fence and park the auto stacker inside the enclosure. It almost wouldn't seem like a farm if there wasn't at least a piece of equipment or two in the backyard. Okay, we'll park the tractors, and I think that'll be the last thing before we show some before and after pictures. The oil mill has a sustainable year-round supply of canola, our debts are paid, we own all our own equipment, and we have an impressive array of different productions and revenue streams, including the bakery, which was a very late-game decision, but I'm glad we did. There, everything is stored. Let's take a little look at parts of the farm and see how it's changed. There you have it. From my humble beginning with a single strip of grass to a fully developed, high-functioning farm with a hard mode economy, all the game difficulties turned on, no contracts, no easy mods, and we have a little over 100,000 in the account, which, as of posting this video, has already been used as our starting money in the new collaboration farm with Magical Geek. The new series is being aired live on Mondays on Magical Geek's Twitch channel and as a compressed playthrough here on my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the series, and I'd love to hear what you think of the finished farm in the comments. See you in the next one.